Hi everyone, let's look at the Cambridge English Advanced Speaking Part 3 tutorial, what to expect, so how it's organized and how you can maximize your result. And in order to get to these strategies, we're going to see some successful contributions and, deduce together what exactly needs to happen in order for you to count on the highest score. Here we go. In part 3, you see a mind map or a spidergram, if you want to call it that way, and you have 15 seconds to look at it. Then you'll have to discuss the ideas in the spidergram with your partner. So this is an interactive part. You have 2 minutes for that, or 3 minutes if you're in a group of 3. The standard is two candidates, but sometimes there might be a situation in which Cambridge needs to group 3 candidates together. Don't worry, just be prepared for that as well. An additional conclusion question will then be asked by the interlocutor, by the Cambridge examiner, and you are then going to have a minute to reach a conclusion. It's 2 minutes if you're in a group of 3. Okay, here's an example task. You see the question in the middle, you see the ideas around it, and you would have 15 seconds to look at it before you start talking. And once you start talking, well, somebody has to break the ice. So you can ask, may I begin, or would you mind if I started? Would you like to go first in case you want to invite your partner to start? And your partner will have no choice but to say, sure, go ahead in case you offered to begin, or yeah, thanks for asking in case you invited them to start. Don't forget, once this happens, immediately you need to bring the first idea or ideas under discussion. If you feel like a couple of them could be grouped up and dealt with at the same time, sure, that's okay. You can combine ideas. It's a bit more difficult perhaps, so I chose to go with one idea first. And I would say, in my view, one of the most critical moments in a person's life is deciding whether to move abroad or not. This is not the question, though. I'm just introducing the idea because the question is what people need to consider. So further on, I'm going to speculate on this and give my opinion. I can only assume that you need to consider the culture of the country you're moving to, as well as the actual area where you will live. How easily can you adjust to the way of life, the climate, and of course, will you be able to socialize and build relationships? It might be tough without constant social contact. So there I address the what people need to consider. And then I need to make sure that I'm inviting my partner. So I'm giving them the opportunity to speak. What's your opinion? Are we on the same page here? Do you agree? Do you believe the same? I need to make sure that I've asked a question like this. Then my partner will agree or disagree briefly. We don't want to spend too much time on a single idea. Oh, absolutely, you've got a solid point. Cultural and environmental aspects are definitely something to take into consideration. So see, my partner here is responding to what I said. He's not building a different conversation. That's good. Or they can disagree. Sure, I see what you mean, but I think that sometimes you simply have to take the leap, Overthinking such a move could turn out to be counterproductive. It's a completely democratic exam. Feel free to either agree or disagree. Do it nicely and do it on point. That's all. Then you introduce another idea, well, your partner in this case. On the other hand, some serious reflection needs to happen when applying to university. Lots of factors should come into play, such as, so see, lots of factors. The factors refer to what the people might need to consider. So here you have it. The strategy is introduce the idea, offer an opinion, ask for opinion, agree or disagree briefly, and then introduce another idea. And just repeat the same until the 2 minutes are up, or the 3 minutes in case you're in a group of 3. Then the examiner will stop you. They will say, thank you. Now you have about a minute, 2 minutes for groups of 3, to decide in which situation it is most important to make the right decision. So you have to decide on one situation and make sure you listen to the question carefully here, because they might ask for 2, for example, in other situations, in other exam tasks. Okay, so the strategy is more of the same, I would guess. You can suggest one of the situation as a valid conclusion, or start by excluding a few of the others. Well, as I see it, it's definitely not this and that. Which gives you a bit more area to discuss, to bring in arguments, because then you actually need to explain why. Then you ask for opinion. Your partner will agree or disagree briefly. You already know this, and introduce another idea or add arguments to the contribution that's already been made. Don't forget that in the end, you need to state the final conclusion. All right, so we seem to agree on this one, or okay, let's agree to disagree. You have your opinion, I have mine, that's okay. So a conclusion needs to be reached at the end of the minute or 2 minutes if you're in a group of 3. Well, that's about it on part 3. Not the easiest, not the most difficult either. You'll do just fine with preparation and practice. So find a partner and try to get them talking. Fingers crossed. Good luck in your preparation further on.